Hey friends, hi, hope you're doing fantastic. This is Naresh Patnaik from NP Digital Marketing and Training Solutions. Today I'm super excited because I got an opportunity to talk to a successful writer, an author. One disability cannot define your other set of abilities. Your potential is much greater than that disability. This was said by the author. The author who wrote this motivational quote is Miss Nikhila Chalamalasetty, writer, author, lifestyle blogger, and a motivational speaker. This is going to be amazing. Be with me till the end. So, have you ever thought how writers think? How do they get these creative ideas? Well, we are going to talk with a successful writer, Nikhila Chalamalasetty. She has written 2 books. One is The Day I Started Flying, very interesting and motivational book. I request you to read the book to know more. The second book written by Nikhila Chalamalasetty is The Invisible Guardian. Both are very successful books written by her, and today we're going to talk to her. So let's start the interview. So Nikhila, my first question is, when did you first realize that you wanted to be a writer? At what age or at what moment that occurred to you?
I never wanted to be a writer, first of all. For everybody, there are very, very specific goals, like somebody wants to be a doctor, somebody wants to be an actor, and somebody wants to be a writer. But for me, my goal of life or my dream is that to find something that I love to do, not just working blindly or mechanically. I wanted to do something that I love, that keeps me going forward. But once it happened, I realized that I enjoy writing more than anything. I enjoy writing every single day. If I have to do something every day for the rest of my life, I'm glad that it's writing for me, and it enhances me as an individual. I think everybody has to find something like that which enhances them as an individual, and it works for me. Being a writer is great, and I enjoy it every day.
So if someone wants to be a writer, there's one question I wanted to ask you, Nikhila. I really want to understand, what are those attributes, what are those thought processes that one needs to have?
I think if you're asking about, writing in general or writing a book, I think what helps me most is having different perspectives. As a writer, one should not limit their attitude to one perspective. Like their mindset has to be flexible. They have to be able to receive things, receive thoughts, and they should be able to analyze it, gain a different new perspective. As a writer, I know I gain a new perspective every single day. It might be as tiny as anything, but every single day I gain a little new perspective. It might be about life in general, or it might be about writing, or it might be about myself. So every single day I gain a little new perspective. I think that is very, very important, to have flexible mindset. You should be, as a writer, I have to feel the characters. If I have to build a character, I have to know what that character is thinking. I have to know what that character will do in the next plot or something. So I have to be flexible. As a writer, I have to build several characters. And if I have to build a character, I should be able to understand how a character thinks, or what it is going to do in the next scene, or for anything, his attitude to his mannerisms, everything. I have to be able to perceive all those things. And I think having that perspective is very, very important. Having flexible mindset, it's important.
When I heard you speak about this particular question, Nikhila, something occurred to me. It is, in a way, I think writers should also be very open-minded. Someone who is always willing to learn about self, learn about people around, learn about characters. I think it's more of a discovery kind of journey. Sounds interesting. So Nikhila, next question is, can you please share what were the challenges that you must have faced?
Even when I was studying, I never wanted to be a writer. I never thought of writing a book. I didn't know actually if I'm capable of writing a book. But when I got the opportunity, I wanted to work on it. Even if I'm not able to, I just wanted to give it a try, because nothing happens without a reason. So I wanted to give it my best shot. So then I did, my research. And after college, actually, without even wanting to be a writer, I don't know why I did it, but I I kind of trained myself to be a writer or to imagine things. I watched many number of movies. I kind of understood how things work while writing a book. I don't know, it just happened. Maybe it's meant to be. I'll take it as that. I think that's my biggest challenge, to come out of the shell, to go out there and publish a book. I think that's the biggest challenge of all. I never realized how difficult it would be to write a book and to bring it in front of so many people, because everybody is ready to judge you no matter what you do. And writing a book is an altogether different story, which people are not used to. I mean, being an engineer or doctor or lawyer, people are used to these things, but being a writer is completely different, and people are not used to it, and they're just always ready to judge you, how you write or how you talk about everything. So I think that was the biggest challenge, and once I stopped caring about it, there's a different improvement in myself. So that's the biggest of all.
I think, Nikhila, this is really a good message. Instead of waiting for, many people want to do many things in life, but this can be one reason which always stops people. I want to become perfect at something and then I will venture into endeavor.
The time will never be right for that.
Yeah.
If you are looking to be perfect, it will never be perfect.
Yeah.
There will always be a space for improvement, and time will go on. Just time flies. So you just have to.
And it takes a lot of
grab
courage to go ahead and give it a try. I think that courageous
Yeah,
decision
obviously, yeah.
makes a lot of difference. Yeah.
Yeah, it scares, but it's definitely worth a try.
Yeah. True. So there's one general question I ask all those celebrities I speak with, or mentors, leaders I speak with. And I'm very curious, I'm very excited to ask this question to you as well. Now, is it self-discipline that helped you in this journey, or is it passion that really helped you to a great extent to accomplish such a great achievement? What helped you?
I think both are very, very important. You can't weigh one thing over another. Both are very, very important. One without another is like, not efficient as they're together. You have to have discipline as well as passion. If there's no passion, it's like you're not enjoying your work and you're not giving it your best. And if there's no self-discipline, you won't have the right motivation to go further. So I think both passion and self-discipline have to go hand in hand. Only then you'll give it your best, or anything amazing will happen.
True. It takes years of self-discipline. It takes years of passion to keep the passion alive, to keep those thumb rules which you must have set for yourself, to consistently adhere to that good habits of
that is
scheduling
very
and
important.
stuff.
Whatever one is doing, it has to be done consistently. Consistent effort is very, very important.
Yeah, true. So next thing, now that we talked about passion and self-discipline, can we ask you a little bit about how does your day look like? How do you plan out your day, a day in writer's life?
I don't know how it works with other writers, but I am not much of a planner. I don't really plan any day. I just go with the flow. If I'm in the mood to write a book, a story, then I'll do it. If not, if I feel like I should write a blog post, then I'll do that. If it's not that, maybe something else. Whatever I feel like, I'll do it. So if there's a deadline or something, I try to find the best time to work on it, not like forcing myself to work. That's how my day goes. Not much of a planner.
Maybe that's how it should be. In a way, when I look at it, probably writing is so much to do with creativity. And of course, you need the right mood to really kind of...
Yeah, true. Creativity doesn't go by time. So, I think finding the right time is important.
The time pressure may not get the best of the creativity that you aspire for. Makes sense. The next thing, can you tell us a little bit about what are those skills? What are those 5 or 6 skills and sub-skills that helped you throughout your journey, and you would strongly recommend them for a college student, someone who is studying graduation now and someone who is doing MBA or any education? And then if that person has an aspiration to one fine day, I want to be a writer.
I don't really think one should go by like if there's someone I really admire the way they work, but the things that worked for them might not work for me, or the things that worked for their admired person may not work for them. So it's all different, and everybody, one thing I really believe is that one has to find their own formula for success or for happiness, whatever it is. They have to find their own formula. You can't just step into someone's shoes and follow the same path they have followed. So that is one thing I really believe. They have to have that courage to find their own way, to find their own path. Even if it's scary, or even if it's like you have to go alone, you have to do that particular thing all by yourself. They might not get the help. So they must find the courage. And the other thing is communication and language skills. They're very, very important. They boost your confidence. So that is one thing I really believe. Learning a language properly can boost your confidence so much. I literally experienced it myself. I'll definitely recommend it to whoever that is aspiring to be a writer, or maybe a person in general. Languages are very, very important. Especially I've met so many people who are aspiring to be a writers, but they do not have the proper language. Grammatically, they're not correct, or they're not even fluent in their language, but they want to tell great stories. What I recommend is, improve their language skills. That is very, very important, because even after writing a great story, you can hire a professional help to edit it and get it published. That's one thing. But after writing a book, you have to face so many people that you need confidence. So for that, you have to have proper communication skills and language. So that's one thing, language and communication. And the other thing is, coming to the story writing, I don't know, they have to always they have to sharpen their creative skills. They shouldn't confine themselves to one box. They have to be ready to explore different spaces. They have to be ready to meet new people or go different places. So they have to be always ready. And yeah, there are many other things, but these are the very few I think very, very helpful.
I mean, all those insights that you're sharing, Nikhila, is really valuable. Couple of more questions, right?
Yeah, sure.
So, in your opinion, what do you believe makes a good story? What kind of stories do you like?
There are many, many good stories, but according to me, I think a story that makes a reader feel different kinds of emotions, I think that's what makes a good story. The reader has to feel anxious about what happens next, or the reader has to be happy when there's a happy ending, or the reader has to cry when there's a tragic story behind the main character. And when the reader feels all these emotions, I think the author did a fantastic job connecting to the reader, and that's what makes it a great story.
The book you have written, The Day I Started Flying.
Yes.
So in that book, I think all these elements are pretty much there. Every page is so nicely written, very easy to understand. The reader is able to imagine. And again, aspire for, see, I mean, especially when I read a book, for me, it's like, okay, I'll read 3 pages today. But then when I read that book, I really could not stop with 3 pages. So I think that is a compliment. I wanted to share it with you. It's written in such a simple, beautiful language. And then you just can't stop reading. Even this happened with my daughter as well. She read that book. She kind of finished reading that complete book in 2 days. I was so proud that she read the book completely from the first page till the last, including the cover page and everything written in the cover page. So
that meant a lot, because when I've written that book, I really wanted to tell the reader a good story, kind of motivate them, give them hope. But I know that book is still not perfect, because that was my first work, and I know there are many things that needs to be perfected, but still I think the story is what matters. When I first started, I had no idea how to approach it or how to make it a polished work or anything like that. So that still needs work, but every reader that has read that book has told me that they connected to the story, cared about the story
You
and
could
what I
connect
have
with
to
the
say to
emotion
them.
and emotion part of the story.
Yeah.
True. I have personally experienced that too, Nikhila. It felt so nice to read each page. Especially, I like the font size as well. It was so legible and so nice to read. When we travel in a
Thank you.
car or a flight or something,
True.
we need a book that is clearly legible. So I literally love that book. We wish you that you write many successful books in future. The last one question that we really wanted to ask you, Nikhila, is what do you do when you're free apart from writing?
I do a lot of things. I never sit idle. That is one of my, I don't know, that's kind of a complaint from my mother. But when I'm free, I kind of these days spend a lot of time learning Spanish. That's something I'm doing very passionately these days. I love to learn new things, and Spanish is one of them these days. I'm learning a language that's keeping me busy these days.
Nikhila, thank you so much for giving us your time. It was amazing to listen from you, to know you, to think about authoring, writing, what drives you to write and publish such nice books. We really wholeheartedly wish you that you write more such books and keep writing, entertaining your audience. Very good job done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me on your channel.
Thank you so much for accepting our invitation and giving us time.
Thank you.